here comes the dorkiest looking movie reviewer critiquer giving my thoughts on it, however you want to describe it, of all dang time. But we're still continuing with Quentin Tarantino. This man loves his movies, his westerns especially. And when he gives Jamie Foxx one heck of a performance, he says, "Hey, come in here, Mr. Fox. You're going to give a great performance in Django Unchained." Written and directed by Quentin Tarantino and featuring an award-winning cast, Jamie Foxx stars as Django, a slave who teams up with bounty hunter Dr. King Schultz, Christoph Waltz, to seek out the South's most wanted criminals with the premise of Django's freedom. Honing vital hunting skills, his one goal is to find and rescue his wife, Carrie Washington. He lost to the slave trade long ago, when their search ultimately leads to Kelvin Candy, Leonardo DiCaprio, the infamous and brutal proprietor of Candyland. They arouse the suspicion of Stephen, Samuel L. Mother effin' Jackson, Candy's trusted horse life. Now their moves are marked. They must stay one step ahead of this treacherous organization. Remember J. Michael Riva, the production designer of Django Unchained, 20 years in the making, the Tarantino XX Blu-ray collection. Now you're wondering, okay, but what is Django? Well, turns out it was an Italian Western movie that it's not a silly spaghetti Western. It's a dead serious Western that stars Franco Nero seeking revenge against a tyrannical lord. Oh, I guess you could call him, and he carries a coffin that contains a Gatling gun, I believe. Yes, and it's a revenge plot. And for a long time, this is the only film that Mr. Nero starred in, but he makes a cameo here, which I'll get to. This movie is powerful. This is a dang. It's like for the first half, it's like, okay, so let's have set during the slavery era. Let's have a couple people who are like trading him, and then Christoph Waltz comes in, acts like a bounty hunter, and pretty much just krills all the both of them. And what happens is for the first act, and oh yeah, the dialogue is great. For the first act, we of course have the training and the getting to know the characters. Here Waltz does not portray a bastard. Instead, he portrays a pure man who detests slavery, and notices that our hero is described as a 1 in 10,000 person who has such unique accuracy and will to survive and everything that he decides that trains them and everything else. And it's just, when you look at it, you see like, oh yeah, this is quite a scene it's quite a look and quite a unique gift, I guess you could say, that Django has. So, the first, as I saw it, 75 minutes of the film. It is just, you wouldn't call it a training montage, but I guess you could say it's training and getting the sights improved and accuracy and everything. And I like that. Eventually they go visit, all this is happening, they visit Big Daddy's plantation, where there are 3 dang, schmucks. Now, these schmucks are responsible for something, get a bounty and everything else like that. And those 2 pretty much just wipe the floor. However, they increase the stakes when they go and visit the Candyland Ranch, and oh boy, it's something else, all right. I mean, it's like the fact alone that he has the landlord, I guess you could say, has 2 people fighting for his amusement. Said, "Hey, I paid $500 for you. I want you to have 5 fights that you win, and then we can discuss certain details." And yeah, he also has dogs. I mean, this guy is just ruthless. And as we get to know him, like, okay, maybe he's not that bad. Yes, he discusses stuff, but obviously this was during the slavery era, so that word was used. We all know what it is. It fits within the context of this movie. Eventually, we get to see our heroes acting like how they want to purchase one, but then they discover, like, oh my word, she is actually here. Here's Carrie Washington portraying Broomhilda, not Broomhilda from the German mythology, I guess, but Broomhulda versus Brunhilde, Brun. So what happens is I want to say some subterfuge that is like these two people are here to purchase someone, but they're really here to rescue the wife. But Samuel L. Mother effing Jackson comes in and is like, I know that these two have this subterfuge going on, and they are here to rescue, Broomhilda. And when they have a meeting in the library, he's like, yeah, we're gonna have that. And then, of course, the ending is probably the most famous scene in which, upon discovering the truth, the Candyman comes in and he says, it's a truly intense scene with the yelling and saying, "You keep your GD hands on the table, and if you raise the Mr. Punch or Pouch or whatever here, we'll quill you." So yeah, that was absolutely insane. Eventually, the top Tarantino violence happens. Our hero does get captured, and he does suffer the consequences, but makes a deal with some Australian transporters. One of them being Tarantino's last on-screen character, and then no good day, mate, is said. So ultimately, he comes back, pretty much just eliminates everyone in the mansion, except for the innocent people. Gets his wife, and they live a good life. So yeah. Whew. Talk about a plot. Jeez, oh Pete's. Yeah, this is so. It's just. I like this movie a lot. It distinguishes itself because even though Jackson is portraying himself, I don't know. He's less of like making the character his own, but instead of being like, I don't want to say subservient to the landlord, but acting like his right hand man, I guess you could say. So, as a certain flair of wickedness that's not like helping or anything like that, but just ruthless. It's not even comical. It's just straight up, just pure, unadulterated, just rage and things like that. So, just looked at it, I'm like, oh yeah, DiCaprio was freaking phenomenal in this, although obviously he did not want to say that word. But then he was told by Jackson, he's like, "Mother effer, that's just another regular Tuesday for us." So that was pretty funny, but yeah. Obviously with this, you're going to have 3 hours. This movie is 3 hours long, almost. These are ones you have to break up into two, although because it's such a thrill, this movie is truly such a thrill. You'd probably do it in like one sitting, but just with the violence and everything else, and just how it was kind of like a tribute to, I don't say a tribute, but I don't want to say tribute, but filmmaking style that combined with the music, and a tribute to Italian westerns. That's it, a little bit. With it being the original Django, it figures like, yeah, so you have all that. You have overall what I consider to be a really good movie. But with some people, they may kind of dislike the violence and the language, of course. And that's cool. That I can understand people having aversions to. So yeah. Oh, by the way, also Franco Nero does have a cameo where Franco and Jamie are sitting like at a bar, and it says, "My name is Django, but the D is silent." And then some guy says, "Oh, I know it is." That was him in the cameo, and it's just like, yeah, that was good stuff. So yeah, ultimately, with all that being said, your mileage may vary on this, but what I've seen, most people enjoy it. So keep that in mind as you watch Django Unchained.